If you can dream it, we can plan it. Oh, where do you want to go? Just let me know. Magic moments, far off oceans. We're chasing sunsets, chasing hope. Pack your bags, we'll handle the rest. With dreams and destinations, we're chasing the best. Your imagination, our inspiration. We'll take you coast to coast, no hesitation. Let dreams and destinations.
Hello and welcome to Dreams and Destinations, a travel podcast brought to you by the agents of A Dream and a Wish Travel Co. I'm your host, Ashlyn, aka the Duchess of Disney, and I am joined, as always, by my podcast bestie, our wizard of all things travel, the magician of vacations, Travel Wiz Liz.
Hi.
You, girl,
Oh, man.
need to fill us in. You need to tell us all about your Disney cruise you just went on. Spill the Disney cruise tea. I'm ready.
Well, first of all, we did a two-night stay at the beach club and stayed club level first, which I think I need to just round out my club level stays so we can do a really good episode on club level amenities because
Genius.
I'm just saying I think I've done four or five, something like that. And beach club knocked them all out of the water. The food was so stinking good, and it was like they served it like buffet style too. So you got so much food and it was just fresh and delicious and wonderful. Really, really enjoyed. I only walked away with like 50 snacks though. So I was a little
Only.
well, I did have like 40 K cups though. So I'm pretty proud of the amount of K cups I collected to keep my coffee. But it's like the little Joffrey K cups and they're super delicious.
Yeah.
If you go to Disney enough, you don't have to buy K cups. So I
No,
mean,
you just
girl math. So that's
hoard your K-cups. You're good.
It's fine. So no, but that was really nice. We did a beach or a pool day at Stormalong, which I have never done a full like day there before. And it was, oh my gosh, that pool is so much fun. It was so relaxing.
There's a reason why people consistently say it is the best pool in Disney. It is.
Well, and I think the thing that makes it so wonderful, if you've never stayed at Beach Club before or Yacht Club and visited Stormalong Bay, the reason to me that it was so awesome is you could like change your style of pool going every like hour. You could say, you know what? We played in the deeper, like the 3-foot area, and Q swam around. She made a bestie. She jumped in the pool and said, "Does anyone want to be my friend?" And this little girl swam up to her and said, "I'll be your friend." And they were besties the rest of the day. But they swam around in kind of the shallow area. Then if you go to like the opposite side by the pirate ship, there's the large slide you can go down. But I did not know, because I've never done a full pool day there, that there's like a small slide on the back of the large slide. So Q went down that like 87 times, just bam, bam, bam. And then if you get tired of that, you can go to the opposite side and go in the zero entry area. That's basically a beach. You are playing in sand. You go in and it's all sandy bottom. And then when you just have had enough of everything, you jump in the lazy river and float around. And I will say, I'm going to extend this warning to all people who are thinking of going to Stormalong Bay with their young children. That lazy river is deep. Do not think you can just float in the lazy river with your kids, because I watched more than once lifeguards have to jump in and like save somebody because they were floating with their kids who had life jackets on, but the parents didn't have life jackets.
Right.
It is 8 feet doesn't sound deep until you're in 8 feet of water. And then you're like, oh my gosh, this is so deep.
Well, especially when you add a kid on top of it. And if you have a little one who's like climbing on top of you in 8 feet of moving water.
Yeah. That was interesting, but I've got myself a little hammock chair and floated around that river a couple times. And it was a wonderful, wonderful, relaxing beach day.
I love that pool so much.
And then we hopped on the ship the next day, and I feel like we need to have a whole secondary Disney Cruise Line episode now about like embarkation and like all of that stuff, because I learned so much from this one. because it was so different than my Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades experience. It was very, very different. Getting to the port, it was very different. Parking, the baggage drop off, like it was, both ports are so massively different from
Yeah.
one another. So
And you were on the Wish?
we were on the Wish, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Never done the Wish. I have toured the Wish. So I kind of knew the layout and I knew what I was getting into, which I
Yeah.
don't know if that's a good or a bad thing because I wasn't surprised when I walked on the ship because I'd already
Right.
seen it. But it was still, I mean, the attention to detail Disney puts into every little aspect of everything. I mean, they hold nothing back on the cruise ship. So the lighting, the fixtures, the little tiny details in the bronze sculptures around the ship. I mean, it was stunning. And then
Oh boy.
I got to talk about briefly about the kids club.
Oh, you must.
So there's a few things we must mention. First of all, my child is 3. She is not in daycare. She does not leave my side ever. So when we went and toured the kids club during the open house, when you first get on the ship, she's looking around, she's thinking it's really cool. And I'm going, okay, maybe she'll be okay with it. Let's see. So the first day we went, when we went to drop her off, when it was no longer open house, there's a slide that goes down into the kids club. She was not having the slide. She made me go down the slide with her for open house. And when we went again, she was like, I don't know. I'm scared. I don't know. I don't know. So we said, okay, let's just walk downstairs and we'll go downstairs and we'll go through. So you don't have to go down the slide. You can go down the stairs and enter there. So we go down, she gets checked in. They go through the whole process of scanning the magic band, scanning the parent, scanning the kid. And it felt very secure. So all the parents that are worried about like the security, especially if you have little ones like mine,
Mhm.
I felt so safe because first of all, they showed me how it worked when we checked her in the first day because it wasn't at the top of the slide. With all the little kids, they check them in and then they put a sticker on their back that says they're age 3 or 4 because as they described it, those are the wanderers. And this way, all of the
Right.
counselors know, like if they see a kid with a sticker on their back, hey, let's get them back to the 3-4 class because they keep them
Mhm.
together by age groups. But one of the things I thought that was so cool that I had no idea they did is when you have those little ones, they actually call from the front desk to one of the counselors in the room to come get the younger child and escort them to the room. So it's not like they're like, hey, you guys are back in the snuggly duckling. Good
Right. Go
luck. Like
find it.
they
Yeah.
come get them, they escort them there. And the same thing when you pick them up, they get them and they escort them. And even the pickup system was like, you scan Magic Band, kid scans Magic Band, then you have a secret word, which we gave them. We gave them the secret word booty. So every time we picked them up, they're like, what's the secret word? And we'd say booty. And
Booty.
they'd just start laughing. It was so funny. But girl, I mean, the first time we picked her up, we picked her up for dinner because we hadn't eaten since like 1:00 when we got out of the ship. And she comes walking out of the kids club, big old smile on her face, and she goes, "Why'd I have to leave?" We're like,
Oh,
girl, it's
she
like
loved it.
she loved it. Loved every second. And anytime we were walking through the Grand Hall and you could see that slide, which is the entrance to the Oceaneers Club, she'd go, Mom, can I go to Kids Club? Mom, can I go to Kids Club? Mom, can I go to Kids Club? I mean, she would have lived, like, she would have stayed in there the entire time if I didn't make her go out.
I think that's an important thing for parents to know when you're going on this trip and you're worried, oh my gosh, are my kids going to like the kids club? Are they going to be bored there? It is not like you're just dropping your kids off in some room with a bunch of babysitters.
No.
It is fully immersive. There are games, there are activities, there are Disney characters that come and visit the children. There's so much to do. Kids love it.
Yes, they really do. And it's not just even the like kids at the Oceaneers Club. We would walk by where Hideaway or the Edge and Vibe, which are the teens and tweens clubs.
Yeah.
And the days when we were at Castaway Key and the kids club opened later in the afternoon, I mean, there was a full-blown line outside of Vibe of like 16-year-old kids waiting for like 10 minutes for Vibe to open so they could go in. So don't think it's just like, oh, just the little ones are going to love it. Oh no, those teenagers do not want to leave either. They
And that's
love
how
it.
you know it's cool. If the teenagers, if the
Mhm.
tweens and the teens are getting in line to go visit, like, you know it's cool.
Yeah, so it was cool. The shows, we only did 2 out of the 3 shows. Sorry, Ariana. I know. I'm
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I skipped one. We skipped the first night just because we weren't feeling it, getting like, we just didn't wanna, like, get on the boat and rush to get ready to go see the show, so we just decided to skip
understandable,
it.
yeah.
But we did see Little Mermaid, which was fantastic, and we saw Aladdin, which was fantastic. I don't know if on the fantasy they did it when you went on fantasy, but
They
so
did, yeah.
far, the genie has been in on both my cruises, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, I think that's a prerequisite. If you're Genie, you gotta be funny. You gotta
Oh
be
my
good at with
gosh.
improv, and you just gotta be on the spot. Like, Genie is hilarious.
And I think they put him on like, in a show on every Disney cruise because he's
I
so
think
funny.
he's so lovable and
Oh,
hilarious.
he's so
Shout out
great.
Genie.
Genie,
I'll shout out Genie. Snaps
you
for you.
you were killing me, but yeah, it was. Well, and now I don't know if you saw my announcement and Danny's announcement, but
Oh yeah.
I will be on the Wish again in 10 days.
Yeah.
So, adults
'Cause
only.
you can never do too many Disney cruises, and that's
No.
factual.
Nope. And yeah, that was kind of unexpected. I just kind of jumped at the chance because I happened to have the week off and Danny said, "Hey, Disney wants to host a couple agents. You want to go with me?" And I was like, "Yep."
Yes.
And then because we're us, it morphed into, we're going to go to Disney, then we're going to go to Epic Universe. And then, so that's going to be the
A
most ridiculous.
whole trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops. Our bad. But we did decide, I forgot, we have to run this by you.
Yes.
We want to record a podcast while we're on our adventure.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to.
I don't know when, what day, we'll figure it out, but her and I discussed that and I said, "Yep, we need to record something while we're doing this cuz
We'll have to do a good one. We got to figure that out.
I think we just talk about the ridiculous crap we're doing.
Probably so.
That'll
It's
be
always fun
entertaining."
to have Danny on, and honestly, we could just talk about literally anything for
Yeah.
hours. So,
We're like, do we need a topic or is the topic
not really.
we just did this ridiculous thing?
Oh, that'll be so much fun. Well, today, Liz, we are exploring Walt Disney World's Enchanting Extras collection, from private photo sessions and lightsaber building to trekking through Africa and horseback riding. The Enchanted Extras collection offers adventure, relaxation, entertainment, and memorable experiences that add a little extra magic to your Walt Disney World vacation. Whether you're looking for something to enhance a special occasion or you're just searching for something completely new to do at Disney World, there is truly an enchanting extra fit for everyone. So, Liz, can you start us off by explaining to our audience exactly what the Enchanting Extras collection is and when we typically suggest them to our clients, and can we even book these for our clients?
So, simply put, the Enchanting Extras are paid add-ons to your Walt Disney World vacation. So it's important to note that every one of these will come with an added cost, and most of them that happen will require you to have a park ticket as well. There are some of these Enchanting Extras that happen outside of the parks, but a bulk majority of them are within the park and they will require you to have a park ticket, and then also the payment for the Enchanting Extras activity. That's how Disney gets you.
Oh, yeah.
um, they range everything from behind the scenes tours to up close and personal VIP experiences to fireworks cruises, dessert parties, immersive workshops, makeovers, photography, food and wine tasting. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Disney has really thought of a very clever way for people to just continue to come back and experience a Disney vacation over and over again because there's always more to do.
Mm-hmm.
I myself have been a pass holder for over a decade now, and there are still several of these Enchanting Extras I have never done. And most of them, I look at them and go, man, I really want to try that someday. Ooh, I really want to try that someday. So
Yeah.
it's a clever way to keep people engaged in what's happening, but then also give them a different perspective of things happening at the parks. For me, when I'm suggesting these to clients, which we absolutely can book these for you guys too, this is something that most of them happen at that 60-day window, like your dining. And this is something that your travel agent has no problem hopping on the phone at 6 a.m. to try to reserve you a cabana or something like that. A lot of them can be booked online, but some of these are going to sell out really, really quick. And that is where having a travel agent to snag some of these harder to get ones is going to be very, very beneficial to you. I like to suggest them to people who have visited Disney World before, and typically people who have visited more than once. We've said on this show a lot that when you come to Walt Disney World on a vacation, you have to set the expectation that you're not going to be able to do everything on that trip, and you have to prioritize the things you want to do. I would say if you're a family, especially, really accomplishing like all of the rides and shows, which is usually at the forefront of people's mind when they're planning a trip. I would say that takes 2 to 3 trips minimum to really ride every ride, see every show, meet all the characters that are on display, like that have like their own lines and everything in the parks. I would say
Right.
2 to 3 visits is what it really takes to be able to do all of those rides. It took me like 2 to 3 years. So because I don't stay for the full day. Um, so I really wouldn't suggest some of these things to people if they still have like major parts of the park to knock out. I wouldn't suggest that they take a chunk of their day, because the one thing you have to understand with a lot of these Enchanting extras is they're going to take up sometimes up to 3, 4, 5, 8 hours of your day that you don't get back. You're paying for your ticket to get into the park, and then you're doing this tour that maybe lasts 4 hours long. That's 4 hours of your park day in this tour. So if it's someone who is newer to Disney, has only been once, even twice sometimes, I don't know that I'm suggesting all of these extras. There are some that, without a doubt, even if it is your first visit, I'm probably going to suggest to you, because for me, it does enhance the experience. So for example, the fireworks parties they do in Magic Kingdom, I think those, even if it's your first time, I think that is especially if it's your first time, I think that is well worth your money, because those parties will give you your own seating area to watch the fireworks. You're not wasting time finding a spot to sit to get that perfect view of the fireworks in the castle. That's already given to you in those parties. So that like things like that, I will suggest to a first timer, because
Mhm.
there are some Enchanting extras that I feel they save your park day a little bit. They make it a little less stressful. And then there are some,
Totally.
like some of these behind the scenes tours, where you really are losing out on your time in the park for these tours. Having said that, if you are a seasoned Disney goer, even if you're not well seasoned, even if you're just a sprinkle of salt right now, some of these tours will really enhance your overall park experience too, because you're learning a lot of the things that happen behind the scenes to make Disney World as magical as it is. Um,
Right.
and I think as a Disney nerd, that's to me makes it even more magical to know, holy cow, this, and this went into building the Seven Seas Lagoon. Like, wow,
Yeah.
like that's incredible that much went into it. So those are kind of the people I'm going to suggest for, is those people that have been to Disney and they're looking for a way to really appreciate the magic even more. So like I said, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of Enchanting extras that happen all around Walt Disney World property. So let's try to break them down a little bit as best we can and try to not make this a 4-hour podcast. So Ash, why don't you tell us about some of the very special tours, behind the scenes experiences,
Yeah.
and some of like the fancier signature and Enchanting extras?
Okay. Well, we'll start with the big mama. We'll start with the most expensive experience, the most elite experience, and that is the private VIP tour. If you have ever been in a Disney park and you see a group of people walking around with a cast member in a plaid vest, that's either a celebrity or they have shelled out quite a bit of cash to be on a VIP tour. So these cast members in the plaid vests, we simply refer to them as plaids. So the plaids are personal tour guides, personal guides. They are Disney experts. They are insanely knowledgeable in all things Disney, about the parks, about Disney history. They're Disney geniuses. And on top of that, on the VIP tour, they are your guide. They are there to usher you through the parks. So here's how it works. Before you even get to Disney World, long before you get there, you get personalized pre-arrival planning. So the VIP team can literally custom tailor your day specifically to you and to your travel party's needs and wants. Where do you want to eat? What parks do you want to go to? What rides do you want to do? What shows do you want to do? Everything is 1000% based on your preferences. And your day is going to start with a private vehicle picking you up from your hotel. Many of these times when you're going into the park, this hotel with your plaid is going to take you to some backstage private area so you don't have to be around the pedestrians and when the front gates. You get to be very VIP. And then you get to visit multiple parks if you wish. You can do one if you want to. And all day long, you are just walking onto rides. You are enjoying all of the VIP seating. It is so special. You are basically catered to like royalty. There is virtually zero waiting. And while you're walking around the parks, going from ride to ride, show to show, your plaid is sharing with you any behind the scenes info that you might want to know about, answering all of your Disney questions. It's truly the most deluxe Enchanting extra that is available. So with the VIP tour, you are paying for a minimum of 7 hours, a maximum of 10 hours, and it's going to cost you anywhere between $450 to $950 per hour. And that's for a group of up to 10 people. So that's just the bougiest of all of the Enchanting extras that are out there. Now, there's a really, really fabulous tour that is much more affordable. This is the Keys to the Kingdom tour. And this is an in-depth, behind-the-scenes tour of Magic Kingdom. It's 5 hours long, and it's $170 per person. And FYI, guests have to be at least 16 years old to experience this tour because it is much more information focused, right? So while the VIP tour is geared towards basically getting you on all of the rides without a wait, the Keys to the Kingdom tour is truly a behind the scenes experience that is designed to share Disney history and facts and secrets. Now, typically they will take you on a few rides that ties in with the history of the park that you're learning about, the history of Magic Kingdom. Typically it's like 2 classic attractions like Jungle Cruise and Haunted Mansion. And they will give you the backstory and the history of these rides and the backstory on some of the Imagineers that worked on these attractions. But mostly you are walking around. It's a walking tour. So you are walking around learning about the history of the park. What's really cool is that you get to go to some backstage areas. And I think one of the coolest things, one of the things that people get really excited about is that you get to go into the utilidors.
That's so cool.
I'm
cool. So jealous of that. That's like so high on my bucket list.
I know. Well, so if you're not familiar, these are the famous underground tunnels beneath Magic Kingdom. And it's kind of weird to think about, but when you are a guest at Magic Kingdom, when you're out there walking around in like Fantasyland or Tomorrowland or wherever, you are actually on the second floor of Magic Kingdom. There is an entire network of tunnels below you where cast members are like scurrying around so they can travel beneath the park totally unseen. It's a really cool thing. Disney people nerd out about it all the time, as you can tell from Liz and I. It's really cool. um, so that's a really special thing that you're able to see on the Keys to the Kingdom tour. I did a similar tour that they don't do anymore. Like a million years ago, I did this tour, and I remember so vividly seeing the costume department and losing my mind. It was such a cool thing. So if you are a Disney nerd, a history nerd, this is right up your alley. It is just awesome. Okay, moving on. Y'all know, I am the biggest Living with the Land fan. So of course, the behind the seeds tour of Living with the Land is one of my absolute favorite things. And I love the play on words here, behind the seeds instead of scenes. Well played, Disney, seeds. So listen, I think this tour is so well priced, and it is of all of the Enchanting extras, it really is one of the best bang for your buck experiences, in my opinion. It's a 1-hour tour, and pricing ranges from about $40 to $50 per person, depending on what time of year you're there. And you get to visit the fish farm and the four greenhouses, and it's a walking tour through the ride, basically. And you get to learn all about the amazing plant growing techniques, come on, hydroponics, that they're using in Living with the Land. So if you love this ride, or if you are a foodie, or if you are just interested in gardening or natural sciences, what have you, this is the tour for you. It is so chill. It's super interesting. I've been twice. I need to go again with Sparky. He has not been yet. So that is on the top of our to-do list next time we're back in Disney World. And Liz and I were talking about this earlier. You can actually do this one during the holidays when they do their glimmering greenhouses, which is their like Christmas lights overlay. Just unreal. It's so cool. It just makes it extra special, extra sparkly. It's amazing. Highly, highly suggest. So next up is fireworks cruises. Love these. I recommend them pretty frequently, especially to people who are going with a bigger group of people. They're a blast to do with friends or family. So prices start at $500 for up to 10 guests. And you get to charter a private boat to watch fireworks, which is really great. Like Liz was saying earlier, it's always nice to not have to go be in a crowded space to watch fireworks and like fight for space to enjoy something, when you can do a dessert party or you can do the fireworks cruise and you get as much space as you need and you can watch it comfortably and you don't have to feel claustrophobic or anything like that. So you get to charter a boat, watch the fireworks. There will be snacks and non-alcoholic beveraginos for you on board. Now, you can either depart from the Contemporary to watch the Happily Ever After fireworks over Magic Kingdom on Seven Seas Lagoon, which is the big lake out in front of Magic Kingdom, or you will depart from the marina at Beach and Yacht Club and take the boat to the back entrance of Epcot to watch Luminous. And they, of course, they pump the music in for you, so it's synced up to the fireworks shows. It's just a much more relaxing way to watch the fireworks. And I should also mention, if you are wanting to watch Magic Kingdom fireworks, you can also arrange for the boat to pick you up at Grand Floridian, Polynesian, and Wilderness Lodge. So you just have to request that specifically because their standard pickup location is Contemporary. So another fireworks experience that is relatively new is the GO82 fireworks experience. Now, GO82 is the adult-only lounge in Epcot. You've heard us talk about this one before. It's right on the backside of Spaceship Earth. Very, very swanky in there. And it is exclusively for guests 21 and up. So you're not going to see any kiddos in there. There are other fireworks food experiences that we're going to talk about later, but this one is just a little bit fancier than the other ones, which is why we're going to put it in this category. So, anyway, you get prime seats to watch Luminous inside in the air conditioning, and you get to enjoy some champagne, or they have event exclusive cocktails, and they have a really fancy savory tasting tower that you get to enjoy before the show. It's like a bougie charcuterie board, basically. And then after the show, you get a little assortment of fancy desserts like chocolate covered strawberries and truffles and all that jazz. So this is a great one for any of our listeners who need a fancy, relaxing, child-free moment on their Disney trip. That one's for you. And then lastly, in this category, I want to talk really quickly about photography options. You know, Liz and I are big, big proponents of Memory Maker. It is another trip add-on that you can do. It is just so amazing to have access to all of your trip photos and all of those memories right there on your My Disney Experience app. But you also have 2 Enchanting extra options for photos. So first, there is the Capture Your Moment private photo sessions. And with Capture Your Moment, you can visit one of the 4 parks. You choose whichever park you'd like. And for $100, you get a 20-minute private photo session. And it is astonishing what these people can pull off in 20 minutes, truly. You also have the option of booking 2 back-to-back sessions if you think you'll need more time. So they do a 20-minute session, then you get a 30-minute break, and then you do another 20-minute session. And this is, of course, a great option for special occasions in Disney. Family reunion, proposals, honeymoons, anniversaries. A lot of people love to do like a pregnancy announcement or a birth announcement, Christmas card photos. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I've seen people do like their graduation portraits.
Yeah, they show up at the park in their cap and gown and everything.
It's so cute.
It's really cute.
I love it. Now you do get to choose what park you want to go to, but there are only specific locations within the park where they will actually do the photo shoot. So like, for example, in Epcot, the Capture Your Moment session there is only available in Italy, Morocco, Germany, Japan, and the American Pavilion. So the other option for photos is the signature portrait sessions. These are newer, and they are much more upscale. This is a 40-minute session for $400. Now, before you fall out of your chair at $400, the major difference here, I think, is that they do like professional retouching of these photos versus the Capture Your Moment photos where they're like, okay, we've taken the picture, here you go. The signature portrait sessions are just a little bit more upscale in the material that you're getting back. And they are only available right now at Grand Floridian and Polynesian. You don't have to be staying there to book these. You can come from any resort to go have your photos taken there. So that's our first section. Let's keep it rolling. Liz, I would love for you to take us on an adventure. So what outdoor recreation and more thrilling experiences are available for our more adventurous listeners?
There are a ton.
A million.
And
Yeah.
if I went through every single one that is offered at Disney World, we would be here till next Thursday.
True
So
story.
I'm going to kind of break them down just by what they are and I'll mention the ones they offer, but I really can't go into detail because there's
A million.
like, I can think of like 30 off the top of my head. So start first with Animal Kingdom, which you guys know this is not my favorite park, but I think the Enchanting Extras collection that they offer for Animal Kingdom is really, really cool, and especially cool for guests who maybe don't have a very high-end zoo in their area. A lot of these encounters and excursion type things that they offer, we have a lot of them at the Tampa Zoo. So I haven't done many of these just because the rhino one I can do at my zoo, the elephant one I can do at my zoo. There's a lot that is offered at Tampa Zoo, and fun fact, this is because the Tampa zookeepers spent a lot of time in Animal Kingdom when they have been going through their trainings. One of my friends is the curator at the Tampa Zoo, and when she was training the macaws at Zoo Tampa, she went to Animal Kingdom to learn from their macaw team about the flyover and everything like that. So,
I didn't know that. That's
yeah.
so cool.
So, fun fact about Zoo Tampa, if you were ever in Tampa, Florida, they took a lot of their animal behavior training from, and a lot of their innovative extra type stuff they do from what Animal Kingdom does. So,
Wow.
some of the things that you get at Animal Kingdom, some of the extras are just those close up animal encounters. Like I said, they do one with elephants where you can go and watch a training session or a feeding session with the elephants. Done that at Tampa Zoo. So stinking cool. They do one with the rhinos that's up close and personal with the rhinos, where same thing, you can watch them. The zookeepers do a behavior session with them or feed them or things like that. Then they have the coup de grace of Animal Kingdom that one of our agents just got to experience. And it is so high on my bucket list for Disney extras. And if it were not for my wonderful daughter, whom I love, we would have already done this. But I got pregnant. We had our kid. Now we have to wait because she's not old enough. So this is the Wild Africa Trek. If you are riding Kilimanjaro safaris and you see those rickety looking bridges that go over top of the crocodile enclosure and the hippopotamus enclosure, that is Wild Africa Trek. They will hook you into this harness with zip line type, I think they're called zip lines, like a rope
Yeah.
course type thing, where you are walking through the animal enclosures over these bridges, and it looks incredible.
It looks amazing.
So cool. You are literally walking through these habitats just out of reach of these large, ferocious animals. And then part of that experience as well is they take you to a private dining area on the savannah where you see the giraffes and zebras and everything roaming around, and they'll feed you. You have drinks and things out there too. So it's a really cool interactive experience that also has some of that relaxation and food and drink that we love so much about a Disney experience. So high on my bucket list. I need to do this. It looks so cool. That is not offered at my zoo. It needs to happen in my life. Very similar to that, they have another experience there called the Savor of the Savory of the Savannah, Savor of the Savannah,
Savor the Savannah.
which is very similar to the end of Wild Trek, where you get your own food and drinking. You sit on the savannah. They have some that are at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. So this is not in the park. You do not need a ticket for the Starlight Safari, which is at the lodge, which is a nighttime safari with night vision goggles and things like that. That one also looks very cool. So if you are an animal nut, there are just some very cool enchanting extras that will enhance that animal experience. Keep in mind, most of these are for older kiddos. So we're talking like 8 and older. Usually, like I think 8 is the minimum age, even for those rhino and elephant encounters. Then let's move on to the sports, because there is lots of sports to be had at
Yeah.
Walt Disney World. We have golf, both mini golf, normal golf, and of course, foot golf, which is soccer golf. I've never done it, but it looks super fun.
It is
We
fun.
we have several water sports. There is a scuba diving extra in the aquarium at Epcot that you can do. There is surf lessons at Typhoon Lagoon. There are boat rentals you can do where you can take a boat out on your own. There are fishing excursions. So if you're a water sports person, we got it for you. And I think all of those are very reasonably priced as well. When you talk about the boat rentals and things like that, those are very good prices.
Yeah.
If you are a horse lover, this will be on my next Fort Wilderness trip. They have horseback riding, trail riding, pony rides, horse and carriage rides. This is scattered throughout the resort. So all of these things, except for the scuba diving, these are all things that happen at resorts. So you can do them without a ticket to the park, which is super cool. Then you have all these things at Disney Springs as well that I guess you can call them enchanting extras, because they are add-on. They are not free when you visit Disney Springs. These are all things you can do. You've got the aerofoil balloon flight, which is kind of like a giant hot air balloon that just goes straight up and straight back down. You have the amphicar tours where your car will literally drive into the water and take you on a little
Those
tour.
are so cool. I love those.
So cool. You've got the Splitsville luxury lanes, which is your bowling experience. You have level 99, which just opened, and I must have an adult night at level 99.
I was going to say, it looks so cool.
Oh my gosh, I saw a reel this week of like a floor is lava, a team challenge at like a bunch of adults racing across playing floor is lava. And
Yes.
I must do this. So level 99, this is more recently open, but it looks amazing. So I need to do that one. But all of these things are just, again, they're in addition to your normal Disney World trip.
Right.
And all of them are wonderful for that rest day. If you want to get out of the hotel room, you don't feel like going to the pool, consider going to play golf, consider taking out a boat and going fishing for the day. There's just a lot of little things you can do that are relaxing, restful, and they don't involve the park. So, and a lot of those are going to fall into kind of the adventurous sports categories.
Yeah.
Now I brought up some food that they do on these adventures.
Yeah.
Obviously there's more food.
Of course there's more food.
And we
It's
love
Disney.
food. So we need to know more about food. So I feel like this is the perfect question for you. Tell us about the Foodie Enchanting Extras collection. What you got?
So there are a lot of them, and I'm just going to try to rip through them so briefly. Over at Disney Springs, there is a little patisserie there, a little sweet shop called Amorette's, and they do cake decorating there. They just do it on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturdays and Sundays, you decorate their very, very famous and very delicious Mickey Mouse dome cake. And then on Fridays, they do an Amorette's Choice dome cake where they choose the character that you're going to bake, or sometimes it's like a seasonal thing. So you could do like a little Christmas cake or something like that. But I love that they do cake decorating. I think that it's so cute. You also touched on Savor the Savannah. This is one of my favorite experiences. So I just want to talk about it oh so briefly. You get to go on your own little private safari, and you get to go kind of off the beaten path from where the ride would normally take you to this open air. I'll call it a hut, but it's more upscale than a hut in the middle of the savannah. And you get to sit there and you get to have these like African snacks and have wine and beer while you're sitting there watching animals all around you. It is just such a special experience. It's so much fun. Then we go over to the Grand Floridian for the tea experience at the newly renovated Garden View Lounge. This is a very elegant afternoon tea party inspired by Alice in Wonderland, of course. I have not done this. It is so brand new, but the little tea cakes and the little snacks.
It's so cute.
So adorable. I love all they look so yummy, and they're also like whimsical, and they are so Alice in Wonderland to a T. It's so cute. There are no characters at this. I really feel like they should have Alice come visit, or the Queen of Hearts or something. I think that would be wonderful. But it definitely does have that like Alice in Wonderland sort of feel to it. It's a little bit more upscale. So it definitely fits the vibe of Grand Floridian, very like Victorian and elegant. So great. Okay. I promised more fireworks dining experiences, and fireworks dining experiences you shall have. Here we go. There's quite a few of them. So first of all, at the Contemporary Resort, you can enjoy Celebration at the Top, which is inside of California Grill. Now, if you don't know anything about California Grill, this is one of the most upscale restaurants in Disney World. It's a little bit more deluxe, and it is at the tippy top of the Contemporary and has utterly amazing views of Magic Kingdom. It's ridiculous. So this is a swanky cocktail party where you get signature hors d'oeuvres, you get cocktails, like handcraft cocktails, and then of course, just insane fireworks views of Magic Kingdom. This one is a little bit more upscale and sophisticated, and so you need to make sure that you're dressing accordingly for this. You can't just wander in your theme park clothes. They definitely expect you to dress a little bit for the occasion. Now, the rest of these fireworks things, these fireworks events, they do not expect you to dress for the occasion. You can wander in your sweaty theme park clothes and no one's going to bat an eyelash, which is great because Disney in general, most of the things that you're going to do, they don't care if you walk in flip flops and a sweaty tank top. They really don't. So first up, we have the Magic Kingdom dessert parties, and there are 3 different offerings here. There's the pre-party, the post-party, and the seats and suites party. The pre-party, you're going to show up before the fireworks to Tomorrowland Terrace, which if you're looking at the castle over on the right-hand side towards Tomorrowland, there's this big sort of empty area that's covered. It's Tomorrowland Terrace. You're going to meet there and you get to go in and you have drinks and you have these desserts that are themed after each one of the different lands in Magic Kingdom. So cute. So you have your little dessert party, and then a cast member is going to escort you down to the hub, to the grassy area of the castle hub there, and you will have reserved space for you to stand and watch the fireworks. The post party is the exact opposite of that. You're going to show up at Tomorrowland Terrace, they'll take you down to watch the fireworks, and then they will escort you back so you can have your cute little desserts. Now, here's the really awesome one, and this is the one I love to recommend the most: seats and suites. You get to sit down at Tomorrowland Terrace and enjoy your sweets in your seat while you're watching the fireworks. You don't have to stand with the rest of the pedestrians. You get to feel fancy and watch the fireworks with your little Mickey Mouse treats. I love recommending these. They make fireworks viewing so leisurely and so convenient. Love it, love it, love it. We also have some fireworks dining packages over in Epcot. You can go to either Rose and Crown, which is in the UK Pavilion, or Spice Road Table, which is in the Morocco Pavilion. Both of those locations have seating for you right out on the water. So you can sit there, enjoy your meal, which is included in the package, and watch the fireworks while you're eating fish and chips or what have you. So great for viewing Luminous at Epcot. There's a similar one in Hollywood Studios for Fantasmic. Liz, Fantasmic, have you heard of it?
Is that there's like a boat?
There's like a boat. Is Mickey there?
Mickey something, I don't know, fireworks.
Well, this one's for you, Liz. You can do the Fantasmic dining package. So here's the thing. You go to one of the participating restaurants in Hollywood Studios. You get your meal, you get your entree, your dessert, and a drink. Adults, you can have an adult beveragino if you would like. And then they give you a voucher for Fantasmic, and you skip along your merry way down to Fantasmic, and you walk right in, and they have reserved seating for you, and you can sit down leisurely and watch the show. This, I cannot stress enough. Of all of the dining packages, this one is my favorite because the theater for Fantasmic seats up to 10,000 people. And it is very often almost at capacity. Very, very often. So getting the Fantasmic dining package allows you to walk right in and sit down as opposed to throwing elbows trying to make your way through 10,000 people and find a seat. I just cannot recommend it highly enough. I love it. There are also festival dining packages over at Epcot for all of the different concert series that they have during the festivals throughout the year. You can go have dinner somewhere, and then they have reserved seating for you in the theater, the American Gardens Pavilion Theater at the American Pavilion. So those are all great. And then the last thing I want to talk about for foodies is adult beverage tastings, which, Liz, we have to do all 3 of these.
I know. We really do have to try every single one.
We really have to. First of all, in Epcot, in the Mexico Pavilion, there is the La Cava experience with a certified tequila ambassador. I don't know what a certified tequila ambassador is, but it sounds like a great time. That sounds like a really fun job.
How do you get that job? That's what I would like to know.
Yeah. How do we come tequila
How much
ambassadors?
tequila do I need to have consumed to be an ambassador of tequila?
Of tequila. So you go into La Cava. I think this is an after hours experience. You get to sit there with your tequila ambassador, and they teach you how to taste tequila property, and they teach you all about tequila. And I think it sounds like a blast. Then over at Wine Bar George in Disney Springs, they have wine tasting with Master Sommelier George. I think you pronounce his last name Miliotis. I'm totally butchering that.
Sorry,
He,
George.
sorry, George. He's the owner, of course, of Wine Bar George. And here's what I think is really cool about this. He is a master sommelier. There are a lot of sommeliers in the world, but there are only 281 master sommeliers, and George is one of them. So you get to sit down with one of these master sommeliers, and he teaches you how to do blind taste testing of wine. I would love this. I think
Sign me
this
up.
would be
Sign
so
me
much
up.
fun. Totally. And then the last one I want to talk about is at the restaurant Toledo over at Coronado Springs. It is Sangria University. You first go in and you do sangria tasting, and then you get to make your own sangria with whatever fruits you would like. And I think that sounds like a blast.
I love it.
So that's for all of our foodies. Now let's talk about all of the other miscellaneous extras, including relaxation, entertainment, some of the other super special magical experiences that Disney offers, including some of the most popular options that Liz is gonna give us the rundown, girl.
All right, so we broke these down into some categories too, because that just helps us think better. First, we're going to talk relaxation and leisure, because after all, you're on vacation to relax, and a Disney World vacation can be a little stressful. So Disney has some great options to just help you relax a little. So first of all, we have 2 different spas on, I would say, technically on property, but we have 2 spas. One is going to be at the Grand Floridian, just called the Grand Floridian Spa, nothing fancy. This is a separate building from the Grand Floridian. So when you look at the campus at Grand Floridian, you see all the buildings at the main tower, the rooms, things like that. And then there is a separate building that is the Grand Floridian Spa. This has your health and fitness center at it, but they also have massages, manicures, facials, pedicures, all of those things to just take a load off and relax. Um, Again, this is another extra that I don't feel like is wildly overpriced. You think
Yeah.
Disney always way overprices things, and I think their spa treatments are very, very close in comparison to a typical spa as far as prices go. Then over at the Dolphin, you have how do you say it? Mandara spa.
Mandara.
This again is just another spa experience in the main lobby, the main floor of the Dolphin. This one is, I feel like it's largely underutilized. It's very easy to get in there, and if you're staying over in that like Epcot Boardwalk Resort area, this is a great option. Grand Floridian obviously is over in your Magic Kingdom area, so this is a great option if you just want to be pampered and relax. As far as more cosmetic treatments go, you also have the Harmony Barbershop, which is right there on Main Street, right across from the fire station, where you can get a haircut. A lot of people utilize this for like the first haircut for their kid, but I've seen some grown adults go in there and get a haircut because why not?
Cheapest haircut you will get in your life, and I'm not kidding.
Isn't it like $12 or something?
I think it's for adults $20. Like,
yeah, it's
mind-blowingly cheap.
This one is really tough to get into though. The reservations book up weeks and weeks in advance. So if you want it, again, this is one to use your travel agent for. The other relaxing thing that Disney does, which I have experienced a couple times now, are their cabana and umbrella chair offerings at the water parks, and then also at a lot of the resorts. You can book yourself a private cabana. I think for water parks and for pool days, if you can get in one of these, it
Yeah.
makes it so nice just to have this home base that not only has chairs and shade, which in the Florida sun, that shade is clutch, but most of them come with things like waters or sodas, or your own private butler that will go get your food from the quick service and bring it back to you. Sunscreen, like lots of things that you don't think you need until you experience it. And then you go, man, that made this day so much more relaxing.
Yeah.
Haley and I did it when we had the plethora of children at Blizzard Beach, and it really made the experience much less stressful, just having that home base, having a cooler, having a safe, just all of that right there. But again, very difficult to get. You've got to be 60 days out making that phone call trying to get it.
Yeah.
They will also do, the next area kind of I want to talk about is they will do a lot of special celebration things for you. If you're there celebrating an anniversary or a birthday or something like that, you can call ahead and get cakes or floral arrangements or things like that delivered to your room. Disney, this is worth noting, has really cracked down on third parties coming into the resorts and doing these. So if you want to get your door decorated, or if you want that surprise on your bed when you walk in for your child or your spouse or whatever it is, this is going to need to be booked through Disney now, because they're really not letting those third parties come in and do that anymore. So
Yeah.
make sure if you want that you understand that as well. And then they have a lot of these, I'm dying to try some of these art classes too.
Yeah.
I stay at Coronado a lot and I've never tried these art classes, but I'm dying to try it. They have a mosaic workshop where you take pieces of tile and create your own mosaic. And then they have a painting experience too, all right there at Coronado, because Coronado is very much based on art and artists.
Totally.
Dying to try both of those as well. Maybe when we do our Sangria University, we'll go take some art classes too.
Perfect. We'll have to do sangria after the art, because otherwise everything will be looking like Picasso. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And then there's going to be some definite entertainment extras as well. There is the Jazzy Holidays at the Hollywood Brown Derby during Jollywood, which I have never experienced both Jollywood or Brown Derby, so I can't elaborate much on that other than it's live music, it's food, it's drinks, it's entertaining.
Jolly.
It's
Jazzy
very
and
jolly and very, very mature crowd level as well.
Totally.
So that's a really great. So then they have in Disney Springs, they have this amazing show from Cirque du Soleil called Drawn to Life, which explores Disney animation in the way only Cirque du Soleil can. This is another one of my bucket list items. I've never actually seen this show, but I've really wanted to see it for a long time. I think my daughter will love this, so I'm gonna have to go see it sooner rather than later.
Did you ever see Lanuba when it was there?
No.
Oh my gosh. We have the DVD of that somewhere. They used to sell the DVD, and I need to get my hands on a DVD player because I would love to watch that. I was totally enthralled by that when I was younger, when they still had it there. I think they didn't get rid of it too long ago, actually.
It's only a few years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the last time I saw it, I was in my mid-20s maybe. So maybe 10 years ago or so. But oh my gosh, that show was insane.
I've seen a Cirque du Soleil show before, so I mean, Cirque du Soleil plus Disney, I think I would love it. So,
oh yeah.
So yeah, that is a really cool, fun night out if you're in Disney Springs and you want to grab dinner and a show. There you go. And then they have a lot of stuff within the parks too. You've got the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, where they will turn you into a prince or a princess and doll you up in a overly expensive dress and do your hair and put glitter all over you. That is a very fun experience. And I think every child who's ever done it is just glowing as they walk out of that boutique, just so happy.
Yes.
Then the nerd in you can build a lightsaber at Savi's workshop, which I'm hoping they come to Disney World with this, but Disneyland just announced they're going to allow people to come in and do the lightsaber building experience without purchasing the lightsaber at less of a rate, which I think would be awesome if Disney World would do that too.
That's interesting. Yeah, because honestly, so my husband and I have done this 4 times. And we have 4 lightsabers on the wall in our Star Wars guest room right now that we made at Savi's workshop. I want to do it every single time we go because I just think it's the most fun experience, especially if you are a Star Wars nerd. And we just don't need any more lightsabers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be going in there building lightsabers to give away for Christmas. Like
Right.
that's not
Right.
happening. So that would be really cool.
Yeah,
Because I would go.
I think that would be so cool.
Yeah.
And then I think the soonest one I'm going to do in Galaxy's Edge is the Droid Depot.
Yeah.
Because it just looks so fun. And I think my child would love this.
She would.
This is where you go into a droid depot and you get to pick pieces to build your own droid. You assemble it there, you put it together there. And then after you purchase it, you can actually go outside and they have this little area where you can test out your droid and race it around against other droids. And you can buy a little backpack to wear it home with you. It just looks so stinking fun. So if
they communicate with each other.
They talk to each other. It's so cute.
Yeah.
That one I might do that before lightsabers just because I think my daughter would really, really dig it. So,
Totally.
But yeah, those are just some of the extra ones. And I'm sure there are 46 of them that we left out somewhere.
Totally. Of course.
Because there are literally just so many. But yeah, those are the main ones that we're gonna cover just because this is only an hour podcast or plus a little. So I feel like we covered already which ones we would suggest. So let's just go to our bucket list and favorites because I think that's what the fans really want to know. So if you had to pick of all of the Enchanting extras you have experienced, I want to know what your favorite is and what is your number one bucket list Enchanting extra. And you can't pick VIP tour because that one's too obvious. So you got to pick something other than VIP tour.
So my favorite one that I've done so far, I've enjoyed a lot of these experiences. Like I've said, we've done Savi's workshop so many times. I freaking love it. I love the behind the scenes tour so much. The dessert parties, the fireworks cruises, the Phantasmic dining packages, the cabanas, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Like you just said, it's truly unforgettable. I've taken my niece and my goddaughters in there, and it is a memory that will live in my head forever. It's so precious. But I think Savor the Savannah might be at the top of my list for all of the things that I've done, just because it is so very special and so unique, and it's just not something that you can experience anywhere else unless you are actually in Africa. So, and I don't think I'm going to Africa anytime soon. So Savor the Savannah might be my favorite. It just adds a little magic, a little something totally out of the ordinary to your trip. But Savi's workshop is, of course, the very close second. Now, bucket list, of course, everybody wants to go on the VIP tour. That's on the top of everybody's list. But for me, this is an easy one, and it's not the bucket list one at all. This is a very emotional pick. I hope I don't start crying, actually. My number one bucket list pick, God willing, is taking my future kid or children to Harmony Barbershop for their first haircut. I am so bound and determined to do this. Being a Disney mom and being able to do that would be just the biggest dream come true. And I will be sobbing and I will be a blubbering mess. But that's number one on my bucket list. And it's just such a cute experience. Like when I've seen, the Instagram reels of people doing this with their kids, your little kid gets a little
You're gonna make
certificate.
Me cry.
I know, it's so sweet. Your little kid gets a little certificate for their first haircut, and they get first haircut ears, and it's just such a special experience. Oh my gosh, it's just such a special experience. So that's number one on my bucket list for obvious reasons. But also the Wild Africa track is definitely on there. I think it would be fun. But Harmony Barbershop first haircuts, hands down, top of my bucket list. Okay, so what about you? We need your favorite and we need the top of your bucket list.
So as we were going through preparing for this show and actually going through it, I realized how few of these I've actually done. Like I've done a lot of the dining packages. I've done the fireworks packages, things like that. But a lot of these extra tours and things like that, I have not. I got some work to do now.
Get it, girl.
This is going to make you laugh. My favorite one I've ever done is the garden during Food and Wine Festival, the dining package during Food and the Rock the Eats. They call it Rock the Eats Festival.
Is it Hoobastank?
It's Hoobastank. So we've done this. They're not coming this year, and I'm so depressed. We've done this every
I
year.
saw that.
Hoobastank has been at Food and Wine Festival performing every year. And every year we have gotten the dining package for the final night that they're there, the final show. And we always sit in the front row, and we've gotten guitar picks and bassist picks, and it's just been awesome. We've had so much fun. I don't even care about the food we eat before. Just being able to like waltz in and sit in the front row for those shows has just been an absolute riot.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's been, I know, it's so corny.
I love that. No, I love that. I really love that.
But yeah, my bucket list, I mean, I haven't done so many of them. So like all of them are on my bucket list, but I think that Wild Africa trek every time for the last like 12 years when I've ridden Kilimanjaro, I just go, man, I really want to do that. And I think that means I get to actually go to the hut and eat some food out there too. So
I think so. Yeah.
I can cover both those bases all at once. So the day Q turns 8 years old, I'm booking that.
Also, Keys to the Kingdom, I think would be
that's up there too. That one looks. I'm such a nerd. I want to hear all about how they built the waterways and things like that. That's what one of the tour guides we met once was telling us. Yeah, I used to give Keys to the Kingdoms tour, and all the dads were like falling asleep. And so I started talking about the engineering and how they bring all the water in, and they're like, "Oh, do you use this kind of truck? Do you do this?" And then from then on, if I have dads in the group, I bring that up.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So yeah, I think funny. those two. I definitely want to do behind the scenes, but I'm not calling that bucket list because it's going to happen soon. It's coming.
That one is so readily available too. Like if you, generally speaking, you can get like pretty close to your trip and still be able to book those.
Yeah.
So if you are behind the times and you need something to fill your day, behind the scenes is great. It's so great.
So did we have, I think in lieu of Magical Mailbag, we have a
we do have a survey. We do. Yeah. So we surveyed our fellow agents, and here's what they had to say about the Enchanting extras. First of all, their favorites, their top answers were there were lots of Animal Kingdom excursions, okay? Starlight Safari, Wild Africa Trek, Caring for Giants, Savor the Savannah. That was hugely popular. So Animal Kingdom is doing something right with all of their Enchanting extras. People love them. And like you and I have both said, they're so out of the ordinary for things you can do in your own backyard. They're just so cool. Then we had the Keys to the Kingdom tour, followed by fireworks, dessert parties, and number one on the list was fireworks cruise. So those were their favorites. We asked them their bucket list Enchanting extras. Top three, number 3 was fireworks cruise again. People want to get on those fireworks cruises, and I don't blame them. They're magical. Number 2, the Keys to the Kingdom tour. And number 1, of course, the VIP tour. Yes. Everybody wants to do a VIP tour. Everyone wants to feel like a celebrity. And we also asked them what they recommend the most to their clients. And they, of course, said fireworks cruises, capture your moment photo sessions, and fireworks dessert parties, which I think you and I would be on board with all of those, because those are ones that really make your trip just a little bit more convenient.
Right.
And they're fun too. I mean, it's amazing. They're fun, but they also add convenience to your trip. So
all right. We agree. My jaw's not on the floor for this one. Good job, agents.
And we'll have to do a magical mailbag next time because, girl, we are out of time. We are over time, as per usual. We love to talk. That's all the time we have for today. Be sure to follow and subscribe to Dreams and Destinations on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And remember, new episodes drop every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come back and see us next week for more shenanigans.
And if you don't already, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Dreams and Destinations Podcast. And don't forget to follow A Dream and a Wish Travel Co. on social media. You can visit our website or any of our Instagrams to request a vacation quote. The links, as always, are in the show notes. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you again next week.
Ta-ta.
Let dreams and